let's bring it in. We're all friends here. We are all friends here. Hello book besties, it's Kira. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video we are doing the monthly wrap-up. It's monthly wrap-up time. I can't believe it. If you don't know how these videos work, I'm basically just going to be talking about all the books that I read this month up until this point. It's the 26th when I'm filming this, and I think that this video is going up on the 28th. So there might be like a book or two that I will read and finish before the month is up on Friday or Saturday or something. If so, check my Goodreads, which is down below, along with my other socials if you just want to keep up with me. Some of these I did do a video on, so I will not bore you talking all about them again. Like, comment, and subscribe to stick around for more bookish videos by me, and yeah, let's just get right into it. Let's start off with a book that it was about time that I freaking read, and that was Flawless by Elsie Silver. This is the first book in the Chestnut Springs series. Yeah, this is about Summer and Rhett. Summer is Rhett's assistant or PR manager's daughter, whatever, and Rhett is a bull rider, and basically Summer has to babysit Rhett because of something that he said and went viral, and it's kind of just their romance from there. I ended up giving it a 4-star. I just like remember some things just annoyed me in this book. I just think it was a little bit of like enemies to lovers, but I felt kind of annoyed when it was like the back and forth of like, oh my god, like I love her and I hate her. Like I get that that's like enemies to lovers, I guess, but like in this situation, it just kind of annoyed me. The third act breakup was kind of unnecessary and pissed me off. So anyway, I mean, this just gave me all the cowboy small town vibes. Like, I definitely recommend this book. I can't wait to continue. Next month, definitely I will be reading the second book. Loved the vibes from this one. 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read a hockey book. I decided to pick up Lucky Hit by Hannah Cohen. This, I don't even remember what it's about. This is about Oakley and what is it? Octavia. I don't even know how to say or pronounce her name. They met like once before at like a party and they talked like forever. Oakley's like this like up-and-coming hockey star, NHL star, whatever, so he was moving to go to a different team and they lost contact, whatever. It was like the best night of their lives, and then they end up coming back together because he is playing for the town that she's going to college in Vancouver. They like reconnect because her best friend's dating somebody on the team. It's this whole thing. What did I give this? 4 stars? Good for me. I ended up giving it 4 stars. I really liked it. Romance was good. I thought it was, you know, pretty average. I just remember loving all the hockey concept in this book. Like usually hockey romance books, like the hockey is there, and I really liked the writing. I like Hannah Cohen's writing. I definitely recommend Hannah Cohen and definitely will continue on with the series. Very excited about that one. The random pickup. Actually really liked it. So yeah. Next up, I decided to continue with my Shadow Me obsession, and I picked up Shadow Me, which is, I think this is the novella that goes between the 4th and the 5th book, and it's in Kenji's point of view. I love Kenji so much. He's so funny. Like, he's like one of the best characters. I usually don't rate novellas anything like above 3 stars, so I give it a 3 stars. Just Kenji, my poor baby. Things just happen to him. Like, he's so upbeat and he just deserves everything. We love you, Kenji. We truly do love you. Next up, I randomly picked up, I feel like this month I just randomly picked up books, but I picked up Reluctantly Yours by Aaron Hawkins. This is like a workplace romance, I think. Enemies to lovers. I don't even like remember the characters' names or really anything. It was just like an average 3-star read for me. It wasn't groundbreaking. Just okay, average romance. I will probably never think about this book again. Just really don't remember anything about this book. 3 out of 5 stars. And me being me, in my fantasy era, picked up a fantasy book, and I picked up To Kill a Kingdom. This is a fantasy about Lyra. She's basically half mermaid, half human. Her mom is the sea queen. She's like the queen to be, something like that. Elian is technically a prince of his human lands, but he's also like a pirate. So he kills sirens, which is what Lyra is. It's like this whole like quest to try to kill the Sea Queen. It's this like whole thing. It honestly is a little bit confusing, but if you read the back, you'll get it. I ended up giving it a 4 to 5 stars. I really had a good time. And the romance, let me just say, this is like not a fantasy romance. This is like a fantasy with romance. But I feel like I didn't mind that. They had a little bit of like an enemies to lovers type of situation. Like they really didn't like each other, didn't even trust each other until like all the way to the end of the book. Definitely recommend if you want like a fantasy with some like adventure. Recommend it for the summer because, you know, like mermaids and ocean and vibes, stuff like that. But yeah, 4 to 5 stars. Check it out if you want to. These next 3 books I did a video on, which was reading summer books for a week. I'm just gonna give like my rating real quick. If you want to know like my in-depth thoughts for each one, definitely go check out that video up there. But the first book I read for that video was the Roughest Draft, and I ended up giving it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. It was okay, pretty average. It did give me the summery vibes. I was very excited about that. Pretty like short and quick too. It's like a little bit of a trope in here that I did not love. I talked about it in the video. Yeah, I thought it was okay. 3.5 out of 5 stars. Pretty good for summer if you want a summary book. I definitely recommend trying this out. The second book I read for that video was The Infinity Between Us by N.S. Perkins. I ended up giving this a 4 out of 5 stars. The vibes are great. I really liked the main male character in this book. I feel like he was very remorseful. It's like a second chance romance type situation. So the female main character was a little annoying of her indecisiveness, but the trauma in this book was like really like wow. And I definitely recommend this one if you want to get into the summer vibes because it took place in like a little town with a beach house. Yes, 4 to 5 stars, definitely recommend for summer. And then lastly, I read The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther. Gave this also a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Like, it was okay. I enjoyed myself. Very chunky for a book that takes place over 7 days. I didn't realize it was literally 7 days. I don't know, the vibes were really good. I liked the game of assassin that was in this. Lots of grief talked about. I just couldn't get over that they've had those intense feelings for each other on like day 3. That was like the only thing that I was like, okay, let's be for real right now. Let's be for real. Cute little YA novel, 3.5 to 5 stars. Definitely recommend a cutesy little summery romance book. Next book was the hit of the month. This one just did it for me, and it was Defy Me. I read this in a day. Probably like 7 hours this took me to read. I could not put it down. It was that good. This is the 5th book in the Shatter Me series. It was just incredible. There's 3 point of views in this book for like probably the first half, and then the second half is just Juliet and Warner's point of view, but we get Kenji's point of view in this book, which I love because I love him so much. This book was just perfection. Pulled on my heartstrings. Like, just so much happened in this book, and I just couldn't stop reading it. So that's why I read it in one sitting. And definitely recommend this series. I can't recommend it enough. It is just that good. First book I gave 5 stars in the whole series. Perfection. Perfection in a book. Jahara Mafi ate with this book. She ate. Just read. You have to read the series. Please. Read the series. And then lastly, this is just a book I randomly picked up on a whim. A Nordic King by Rina Halley, something like that. This I picked up because it was like single dad, nanny kind of romance, but like make it royal. You know what I mean? Like make it Hallmark movie royal. Like I remember reading it like fast, but then I was gonna DNF it. And if you didn't watch like my mid-year video that I posted a couple weeks ago, I'll put it up there. I made it a goal for myself to DNF books, and I just didn't with this one, and I should have because I didn't like it at all. I mean, I gave it a 3 stars, so like I liked it enough, but I just kind of skipped like the second half of the book. I really wasn't invested in the relationship at all. The kids were cute, definitely insta-lusty, lovey situation. 3 to 5 stars. These are all the books that I read this month. Again, we still have, I think, about 4 or 5 days in the month. I've just been not feeling like necessarily slumpy, but there's just like nothing that I'm feeling about picking up right now, and it's kind of upsetting me because I have so many more days left in the month. Again, check my socials down below in my Goodreads if you want to know if I read anything more this month that I didn't put in the video. I think it was like an okay reading month. It wasn't like my best reading month. That's pretty much all there is for this video. My next video, which will be posted in 2 days, will be my July TBR. Let me just say, she's a pretty hefty one. Make sure to look out for that video. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!